You strong.
Suddenly, a voice interrupted the conversation. "Of you two, isn't Andrea there?" The president of the association looked at the person going down and said, "Hello, Lady Tam Tan, you calmly wore a light outfit and went down. The situation is too harsh, Andrea can't handle it." The association president looked at Lady Tam Tan. "Andrea, are you talking about the human cataclysm hero Andrea?" She nodded in affirmation, "Yes." But the association president's answer shocked her. He had just passed away. He told the cause of death. They said it was a dungeon accident. The association president looked at the notice and made his own guess. "I haven't heard the details, but it seems like the transformation happened when he raided a dungeon." He took Lady Tam Tan and Kim SeoJoon from one surprise to another. Not only in Italy, other European countries are also in the same situation. The current information and situation are gradually being revealed. Many cataclysmic heroes fought on their own, but in this dangerous situation, the European Union had to ask the Church of Justice for help. After hearing this important information, Kim SeoJoon was surprised and sweating. He looked at the association president in wonder. "As if telling me this the next day," the association president also said frankly, "Miss Kalia asked for our country. Stepped in, she wanted to help Italy." He wondered, was the situation in Europe so serious that even the Justice Church couldn't handle it? The association president calmly replied, "Yes, but for Italy, that's not the only reason." He looked at him in surprise and confusion. Lady Tam Tan now spoke up and gave her guess after piecing together the events, probably because of Andrea's death. She began to explain that Andrea was not only a cataclysmic hero but also a mafia boss. She also told Andrea's information. Of the Sicilian mafia, he was the first person to unify the mafia, an international criminal organization. Buried memories also began to surface. Andrea was a crazy man who always shouted that he would revive that criminal organization. Kim SeoJoon asked in surprise, "Reviving the Asian International Criminal Organization?" Lady Tam Tan sighed, "Of course I thought he was talking nonsense, but, in the end he really did it." Lady Tam Tan turned to the association president and said, "Of course there are people in the mafia world who oppose, but it has nothing to do with the cataclysmic hero." She put on a serious face and said, "Now that the chains of control of those mafia organizations have been broken, how will those crazy dogs react? Italy must be in utter chaos." The president of the association now thought of it. He repeated the invitation from the Italian government. The Italian government had secretly asked the Church of Justice for help, but they said they had their own problems. Lady Tam Tan. Somewhat annoyed, he shouted, "So you asked this child to do something that even the hero of the Great Flood couldn't do? Do you think it's okay?" The association president hastily explained, "Of course I refused, but Miss Kalia asked me to convey the message, so I told him." Having said that, he turned to Kim SeoJoon and advised, "You don't need to do anything, Hunter Kim SeoJoon." He was worried. "I didn't think he had to go to a strange country full of dangers." Kim SeoJoon was falling into thought. He turned around and expressed his thoughts to the association president and Tam Tan's wife, "Me." At the Justice Church, a silver-haired man wearing a hood discreetly turned around after hearing the report about Kim SeoJoon's answer. "Does he need money?" He looked at the person kneeling on the ground and asked, "Does Kim SeoJoon know our purpose?" The person kneeling on the ground hesitantly replied, "I don't think so." He questioned, "Then why?" Kalia knelt on the ground and said cautiously, not knowing if this was the right thing to say. She was speechless in her conjecture, but I guess he was just crazy about money. Hearing the answer, he immediately felt a little relieved and asked, "How much did he ask for to act?" A huge number was said, 100 billion won. He was silent for a moment and then exclaimed, "It was really crazy." Kalia added again, "In return, he said he would go with a member of the dream team this time." He turned around and ordered, "Give him what he needed." Kalia raised her head in surprise, "Yes, but..." He knew what Kalia was going to say and immediately explained, "The mutated monster that had swallowed Andrea was still there. If he was going there on his own, why should we stop him?" Kalia knelt on the ground and immediately turned pale when she heard what he said. "Kalia, the apostleship ceremony is about to take place. When you become an apostle of the Pure One, you will understand." Kalia spoke hesitantly, but, still turning his back to Kalia, he asked if there was anything else to report. Kalia's next words made him completely silent. "He wanted us to make a deposit first." Kim SeoJoon also informed the Dream Team members of the situation and the upcoming schedule, for which reason the Dream Team will come to Italy. "You're afraid that the team members will feel the danger and make a voluntary choice. I won't force you to go if you don't want to go, but it seems like you've gone too far. The team members can hear it." Italy immediately shouted excitedly, "Let's go abroad." He put his hands on his hips and repeated, I told you, it's very dangerous in Italy, but regardless of your advice, the others were even more excited and practiced. Some Italian sentences begin with the dish, pizza pasta. Kim SeoJoon's reminders now sound like a guitar. Hey, we're not going out, hello, can you hear me? Everyone on the team is immersed in joy. When will we let's go? Lady Tam Ton looked at this scene and immediately became speechless looking at the people in front of her who didn't know whether they were optimistic or stupid. One morning as usual, Lady Tam Ton was sitting and enjoying a cup of early morning tea, but it didn't let her relax for long. A huge shock made the floor shake violently, causing the tea to fall straight down on her face. Lady Tam Ton put down her cup of tea and exclaimed, "Today is more shocking than any other day." She put her hands on the table and stood up. The Dream Team's flight to Italy had been confirmed. Recalling the events of the day when Kim SeoJoon received the deposit, more than 100 billion won was spent. It seemed that SeoJoon received 60 billion, the rest received about 10 billion each. The scene where Kim SeoJoon she shed tears and convinced everyone, still imprinted in her mind, 20 billion is too much, so can I give each person 10 billion? The members of that dream team still accepted his request. Okay, Captain, 10 billion is enough to exchange equipment. Me too. Honestly, I'm worried about how you will exploit us when we receive more money like that. Lady Tam Ton thinking about it. Didn't he also talk about money with the Black Saint? How much money did he need? She walked down the hallway thinking. There were still 2 weeks until her dreams reached Italy, when suddenly a cheerful greeting rang out, interrupting her thoughts. Holy Heart, good morning. The members of the dream team were practicing here. Everyone saw her and immediately greeted her happily. Good morning, hello. Kim SeoJoon was standing in a corner of the practice room holding a small black bag and then kneeling down. His whole body trembled. She finally found the source of the tremor. He saw her also enthusiastically greet her. Good morning. Because of the strong vibration, his sentences were prolonged, leaving Lady Tam Ton speechless. She hesitated for a moment and looked at Kim SeoJoon, then turned around and responded to everyone's greetings. Good morning, everyone. Actually, I was a bit worried. What the hell was he holding that made the whole building vibrate like that? After Mrs. Tam Ton greeted everyone, she stood in the corner of the practice room attentively watching the members of the dream team practice. She looked at each person and commented, disciple of Sword Saint, disciple of Black Saint, disciple of Dharma Saint. Then she looked at Kim SeoJoon again. Each of them had immeasurable talents, yet they were gathered together under the light of one person. She suddenly noticed a little girl standing near her, except for that child. Looking at the girl for a while, she immediately felt a bit lost. She was curious about the girl and immediately used spiritual energy on her eyes to see inside. Normally, the soul would have different colors depending on their emotions, but the black color in the girl's soul was only black. In one sense, her ego is too poor. Lady Tam Ton looked at the little girl and asked, "Little girl, why are you here?" When asked suddenly, the little girl stammered and answered, yes, I was told I was here." After hearing this, the lady immediately knew that I wasn't being honest. The little girl immediately blushed after being told that her heart was black. She didn't ask any more but just looked at the embarrassed girl. At first, it was normal for her soul to be completely black. If so, it should have collapsed gradually over time. Looking at the girl's soul, she suddenly understood. However, now that the collapse of her soul has stopped, perhaps SeoJoon has destroyed the small world she once knew and allowed her to move on. Go out with new hopes. She commented, a child always doubts herself and tries to change, but is lonely because she doesn't know what to do in this life. Lady Tam Ton kindly said, people say that even gods cannot control human behavior. Lady Tam Ton turned around and was about to leave. Little girl, I think I should start doing personal work with you first. Please follow me. She still agreed but still asked in bewilderment, yes, but. She smiled gently at the girl, why don't you want to? The girl just didn't answer for a long time, concerns clearly showing in her eyes. Lady Tam Ton didn't make it difficult for her but just let out a sigh. Suddenly she rushed forward and quickly flicked her forehead hard, causing her to shake and hold her head. You're still not being honest, right? Before she could regain her composure, Lady Tam Ton flicked the old wound harder. She shouted loudly, if you suddenly hit me like that. She knelt down on the ground, dizzy. Lady Tam Ton looked at her fiercely. There were only 2 weeks left until the children arrived in Italy. The angelic appearance from before was now completely gone, replaced by the image of a ferocious tiger bearing its fangs. Now, having to deal with the most troublesome person first, the little girl glanced at the nun. Shouted in front of me trembling, yes, but. Lady Tam Ton heard the girl's hesitant words and immediately snapped, from now on, I will only accept the answer yes, do you understand? The girl trembled and said loudly, yes. Lady Tam Tam corrected her again, Answering too slowly, the scared girl immediately replied, yes. Kim SeoJoon looked at the two people and was puzzled and then muttered, she is really mysterious to me. At the same time, the system also announced, anyone who completes this exercise can lift a total of 500 tons, training trainer, Heracles, for completing the lecture you have received the power of God, the first step towards transcendent light gong, instructor, Trong Tam Phan, the Van Tung, light gong. 2 weeks quickly passed, the news of the Dream Team going to Italy was spread throughout Korea. This information created a wave of intense public opinion. They had just boarded the plane at Incheon Airport. Honestly, I didn't know if they went right, just wondering, why did Kim SeoJoon go there? I heard rumors that Italy is very ruined. Please don't go, we're a dream, instead of a dungeon. The mafia there is scary really, now the whole world is paying attention to Italy. If hunter Kim SeoJoon solves the problem there, he will be famous all over the world. 2 confident hunters won't live long. I think they're crazy. Well, I heard that even high-ranking hunters couldn't do it and died there. Leaving behind the worries and expectations of many people, the Dream Team departed for Italy. Setting foot at the airport, the whole group was excited to see the scenery of Italy. The Dream Team had arrived in Italy. The members of the Dream Team again tried to prove themselves. Let's eat pizza, let's eat pasta. Kim SeoJoon helplessly shouted at those two people who love to eat. Let me say it again, we are not here to play. Where? A contemptuous laugh behind him caught Kim SeoJoon's attention. He turned around and saw a mafia gang standing there looking at them with contemptuous eyes. Kim SeoJoon looked at the mafia group and clicked his tongue. It was really troublesome. One of the team members pulled a suitcase and said excitedly, Mr. SeoJoon, what should we do? Kim SeoJoon calmly said, they said someone from the government would come to receive us. Before he could finish his sentence, a tentative voice rang out, you guys are the Dream Team. A smooth blonde girl walked up to greet the Dream Team. Nice to meet, I'm Elena, a member of the Italian Professional Hunter Association, and I'm also managing hunters from Asia. Kim SeoJoon walked over to shake hands with Elena. Yes, nice to meet you, I'm Kim SeoJoon, and they are members of our team. Elena smiled and shook Kim SeoJoon's hand, looking forward to working with you guys. She looked at the group of people behind Kim SeoJoon and silently commented, 1A rank hunter and 4B rank hunters, for the church. Justice has sent people, I thought there should be at least an S rank hunter. She politely said, you guys must be tired after the long journey here, allow me to guide you to a place to rest, coming from behind a guy in the mafia group. The guy in the white vest pointed at Kim SeoJoon and said something in Italian. Kim SeoJoon didn't understand and looked bewildered. He asked Elena curiously, what were they talking about? She turned around and ignored the mafia, no need to worry about them, please go this way. As Kim SeoJoon was about to walk away, a bright golden ball appeared in front of him. He asked curiously, what is this? One person in the group immediately saw it, a medium for spiritual connection. I'm still learning, so I can't create a more lasting connection, but I still have it. Could do it if only basic communication was established like this. Kim SeoJoon now knew that the orb was created by her and immediately marveled, even though he learned directly from the saint's mind. I can't believe he did it. To be able to do that in just 2 weeks, it's clear that she's really talented. Thanks to this metallic ball, Kim SeoJoon heard and understood what those guys said. Did these kids come here to travel? The other guys looked at Kim SeoJoon's group and kept pointing. The weaklings would pee their pants if they knew where this was. Obviously they would if they knew. Kim SeoJoon was annoyed but still held back. What is that? Those thugs want to fight. The mafia guy behind kept talking. They're running, cowards. The voices of the mafia ring in our ears. Just leave them there. Even if we do nothing, they will die soon. The laughter kept ringing out. Their laughter seemed to trample on his self-esteem. It was a waste to be so beautiful and have to die. So why don't you go and punch them before that happens? Their words completely broke his last thread of reason. Kim SeoJoon looked at them with murderous eyes. Those mafia guys don't know who they are touching. They are still extremely arrogant. They run away, cowards, leave them alone. Even if you don't touch them, they will die eventually. It would be a shame if those beautiful girls died, so why don't you go on a date? Kim SeoJoon couldn't stand it anymore. He walked in a low voice to the mafia group, asking for permission. Elena said in surprise, Hunter Kim SeoJoon. She turned pale and looked at Kim SeoJoon's back. It was big trouble. Thinking about the background of that mafia group, I can't help but shudder. The other party is not an ordinary gangster. They are a mafia gang with many A-class talents. They are worms that the government has to close its eyes to. Because he couldn't deal with them, he had to stop him. Elena yelled at Kim SeoJoon, wait, you're not my opponent. However, the Dream Team member stopped her. The Sword Saint's disciples spoke up to stop her. It's okay. Looking at the indifferent attitude of the team members made her surprised. What's going on? Why is everyone acting like nothing happened? Kim SeoJoon stood in front of them. Seeing his small body, the mafia immediately laughed and mocked. Oh, you're crazy. Maybe he was scared to death so he just went to find the bathroom. Kim SeoJoon walked over without any fear but with a look of disdain. A bunch of trash was floating all over this airport. Italy was truly in chaos. The guy, who didn't understand Korean, looked down and threatened, "What do you mean?" But the answer he received was Kim SeoJoon pressing his head straight to the floor. The other mafia guys saw this scene and immediately froze. These guys were startled and wanted to use their numbers to suppress them. They all rushed to attack Kim SeoJoon. This brat beat him up. But the scene before her eyes was beyond Elena's anxiety as well as beyond her thoughts. It was impossible. In just a split second, Kim SeoJoon defeated those A-level mafias. He was only A-level. Kim SeoJoon calmly turned around and smiled at Elena and his group. Let's go. On the ancient street, Kim SeoJoon's group was in a car going to the designated destination. Ms. Elena, where are we going? We are on our way to Naples. Elena sat seriously on the chair and explained the situation to Kim SeoJoon's group. In fact, the hunters Kim SeoJoon was dealing with were not the mafia. To be exact, it was a gang separated from their faction. Kim SeoJoon curiously asked what it meant. Elena recounted previous events. After Sir Andrea suddenly passed away, the mafia was divided into 3 factions. She listed 3 factions one by one: the moderate Agnese, the tough Francesco, and Uncle Antonio, the official successor, the heir to Sir Andrea's estate. Although they called themselves moderate to the masculine, except for Antonio, the other factions are all criminal organizations. Italy's chaotic situation is clearly shown in Elena's story. Although the dungeons are rampant, professional hunters in Italy cannot handle them yet, because they are trying to stop these aggressive mafias. So even though this is a bit excessive, I hope the Dream Team can help us solve the deformation dungeons. After hearing the situation, Kim SeoJoon completely understood. At Elena's request, he would of course happily agree. Just leave it to us. From the bottom of her heart, Elena was extremely grateful to the Dream Team. She bowed her head to thank you. Truly, thank you. Suddenly a strong vibration hit the car, causing it to shake violently, causing the people in the car to wobble unsteadily. The shaking stopped after a while. Kim SeoJoon stood up to observe what was going on. Elena opened the door and went out. It was extremely chaotic outside. People were pushing each other to run quickly, everyone run, there were monsters. She watched for a while looking up at the sky. The scene really gave people goosebumps. Elena turned pale when she saw that black hole. The dungeon gate had opened. Monsters started pouring out of the gate. Elena was extremely worried about the city. No, the city. The members of the Dream Team had now gotten off the bus, and a blade slashed out, causing several monsters who had just come out of the dungeon to lose their lives. They were very excited and looking forward to this battle. Weapons ready in hand, the Dream Team began preparing to fight. It seems we have not reached Naples yet. Kim SeoJoon comfortably put his weapon on his shoulder. The other members also started stretching to warm up their muscles. Just start from here. In the Italian parliament, unlike the clear blue scene outside the parliament, the inside is extremely tense due to major events. Currently a mafia gang has taken over the city of Catanzaro. The situation of the mafia gang is being reported by the president of the Professional Hunter Association in Italy, Marcello. We have tried to negotiate, but they still stubbornly refuse to accept any conditions. A person turned to Marcello and asked after hearing the report which side occupied Catanzaro. Marcello replied, Francesco's side is tough. The person who asked was the Italian minister, Samuel. He had a headache when he heard about the Francesco gang. He said he would kill 90,000 people in Catanzaro. If I don't hand over the president's position within a week, what about the president? That's absurd. There. He asked again, what about Antonio? Marcello immediately reported, she was coordinating with professional hunters to prevent those bastards from leaving Sicily, but the situation was not very favorable. Samuel rubbed her temples tiredly. Those bastards wouldn't dare move while Mr. Andrea was still alive. He scratched his head. He didn't expect that a disaster like this would happen when a hero disappeared. From outside, a staff member rushed to announce that we were in trouble. The information this employee brought directly made Samuel stand up from her chair, hearing that the dungeon in Latina had transformed. Samuel turned to ask Marcello, how many professional hunters can I send? Marcello, he replied urgently, currently about 500 C rank hunters and 150 B rank hunters and 28 rank hunters, sir. Samuel asked again, what about the foreign hunter? Marcello's response was a helpless shake of his head. Samuel was helpless, her body trembling with anger and regret. Did innocent people have to lose their lives like this? He was powerless to give orders. First, mobilize existing resources. They must save people's lives. Don't let people's lives be in danger. Another employee seemed to be urgently walking to the side of the president of the Professional Hunter Association, leaning in his ear and saying, "Excuse me, President." After hearing the news from the other employee, Marcelo exclaimed, "Ha, really?" That loud shout attracted Samuel's attention. What happened? Marcelo trembled, not knowing whether it was because he was happy or because he was too happy. He stammered and said, "Latina, there were no casualties in Latina." In Latina now, the Dream Team began to fight happily. They truly considered those terrible monsters as test subjects, continuously releasing strength at them, with a smile on their lips. Same satisfaction. In the chapter before the group arrived in Italy, there was a small clash with the mafia group at the gathering place, but anyway, it didn't cause any trouble for SeoJoon's group as their combat experience and abilities are both top of the line. Nation. After being explained about the mechanism as well as the mafia groups scattered throughout Italy, SeoJoon's group suddenly encountered a giant dungeon gate in the sky. It emitted a purple halo of energy and thunderous lightning. Looks extremely scary. Seeing this, Elena panicked and informed SeoJoon's group that they had a dungeon opening right before their eyes. Immediately, the 5 of them took weapons to help Elena evacuate the civilians and fight the monsters crawling out of the dungeon gate. At the beginning of chapter 101, SeoJoon performed the secret technique. She closed her eyes, crossed her arms with a bright orange-yellow halo burning around her hands. Clenching his fists, SeoJoon slashed hard, creating 2 fiery streams of fire like 2 red rivers that engulfed the monster made of white marble, using secret flame magic. SeoJoon burned to death. With the same posture as SeoJoon, Manhwa performed the secret technique of ghost chasing. A dark purple aura of murderous aura surrounded the sword like one strike was a kill. Manhwa whispered the name of the secret technique, both hands tensed, gripping the weapon tightly. He jumped with all his might and rushed towards the dark red-eyed black wolf, which was opening its mouth, waiting for him to commit suicide into its stomach. But no, he turned around to perform the move, 2 sword dances. The bystanders could only see the purple light weaving back and forth over the black wolf, making it unable to move at all, so they were helpless to receive everything. Killing blow from Manhwa. As for SeoJoon, she was facing 2 cyclops 3 times larger than normal people. She was preparing to fight them. With her right hand, she pulled out her sword from the sheath and seemed to make a move to finish them both, the sharp iron blade flashing. The murderous intent was startling. I think the Cyclops chose the wrong opponent. With a gentle turn, SeoJoon quickly cut the Cyclops in half with the Holy Sword's ultimate technique, the sword dance, the sword shaped like a stream of water but glowing like lightning in a stormy night, easily finishing off the opponent. Huge player in front of you. The scene changes to an open hand, bright streams of air gather in the palm. Looking at the move, one can guess that it is from the Dharma Saint and represented by Haeun. She performs the skill, summoning elemental spirits, wind spirit. Then with a tremendous force of her palm, she blew away the skeletons, severing their heads with a burst of elemental energy technique, as if she was releasing a blade out of thin air from giant sharp iron. Elena was assisting in rescuing people and evacuating people. She helped an old lady up and reassured everyone, "It's okay, everyone please stay calm and evacuate from here." A woman carrying her child ran and thanked Elena. The situation was chaotic but full of human love. Elena looked up at SeoJoon's group, wondering who they were, both strong and domineering, both beautiful and more talented than others. Their abilities were not average and they were also courageous and wholeheartedly supported her. Just a little absent-mindedly, the giant Jupiter crowd rushed towards Elena. The dungeon door was still wide open and the monsters were still pouring out. Elena stiffened because they were trying to kill her. But a flash of yellow light cut through the Jupiter cloud in half, causing Elena to sit frozen in place. SeoJoon appeared from the air, holding his weapon firmly in his hand. The space seemed to freeze when Elena saw SeoJoon appear, not knowing if it was because she was grateful for a life-saving move earlier or because SeoJoon was so handsome that everything around fades away. Elena was extremely grateful when she saw SeoJoon flying in the air like that. She exclaimed by saying, "They are Korean hunters who came all the way to help me." Her eyes opened wide and her whole body seemed surprised. So moving. Elena stood up but did not forget to look at the monsters that were being destroyed one by one with a spirit full of hope. To defeat this group, dozens of hunters were needed, but they were dealt with in a minute with just 5 people. While in a state of lightheadedness and hope, the phone suddenly rang. As Marcelo called, he is the president of the Italian Hunter Association. Elena picked up the phone and said loudly and clearly, "I'm Elena, the person assigned to manage the hunters from Asia, sir." It seemed like the other side of the line said something. Elena suddenly changed her face to worried, her mouth stammered, asking for forgiveness. Prime Minister, sir. After destroying the demons, the scene changed to the headquarters of the Italian Hunter Association. Haeun's cheeks turned red. Listening to Soo-yeon ninth-noged, how could she summon such an elemental spirit? She became a disciple. Of Tam-ton hasn't been long, right? Haeun shyly folded her arms on her chest and hesitantly replied, if you just do it, who would have thought it would work? Haeun continued while Soo-yeon was delighted when her sister knew she reminded her well, to be honest, I don't think I'm the only talented person here, don't forget you just woke up too. Soo-yeon hesitated, well, Minal laughed so hard, now you two compliment each other back and forth. Even though he said that, he was still visibly happy when Soo-yeon Kafunhafu returned to him, and you too, how could you be that strong when training alone? Minal did not hesitate to show pride, he was used to it. With practicing alone for a long time. Seo-yeon listened to the story and then put her hands on her hips and sighed, how could these people be so talented? While Soo-yeon interrupted because she found Seo-yeon's statement a bit too modest, what do you mean, you're a human being? Blew up that whole area. It's simply because I practice a lot more than you, Seo-yeon slowly explained while the three association ambassadors could only look at them without being able to utter a word when they heard the dream group flatter each other like that. The three stood there dumbfounded for a long time, listening to all of them bickering with each other. But that scene had nothing to do with the male lead's poor business habits when he was dismembering monster corpses to sell. Elena was shocked, he was still dismembering monster corpses to sell, and when meanwhile, Minal blamed the captain for his self-serving habits in Korea and now it was brought out for all of Italy to see. And in that same scene, Soo-yeon felt nauseous when talking about money. What does that mean? Just as Elena saw the male lead dismembering the monster, SeoJoon also saw her. He exclaimed, oh Miss Elena, you came at the right time. The three messengers of the association and the male confederate approached each other. SeoJoon expressed his questions about how to sell the monster corpses and his ownership of them, while Elena had other things to do, yes, but that was not the case. Problem. When SeoJoon saw two other people wearing Elena's socks, he immediately asked for information. Elena immediately introduced herself. It turned out that the two people following Elena were the Prime Minister of Italy, the other was the President of the Italian Hunter Association. When hearing the introduction of such a high-ranking dignitary, SeoJoon couldn't help but feel worried. His expression looked serious, he immediately thought, why are the Prime Minister and the Association President here, let alone? Well, we have to make separate customs declarations. It's true that people are materially different when they only think that the appearance of the two of them is about declaring to customs. The Dream Team also did not miss the opportunity to deny knowing the captain, we had no idea what he was talking about. It's true that this association is close, everyone takes care of each other. Just as I was worried about my dwindling wallet situation, suddenly a hand was extended in front of the male lead's face with the words for me to introduce myself. The blonde-haired, scar-faced guy wearing a suit smiled and introduced himself as Samuel, Prime Minister of Italy, while the brown-haired guy next to him introduced himself as Marcello, President of the Italian High-Ranking Hunter Association. Both showed good intentions and did not care about the number of corpses sold by the monsters. SeoJoon now felt secure in shaking hands with these two people, briefly introducing himself to them. The Prime Minister was surprised by the male lead's foreign language skills. He could communicate without an interpreter. Was he a follower of the Church of Justice? The male lead answered frankly that there was a fellow in the group. The team knows spiritual magic so they can help him remove the language barrier. He continued, I don't know the exact principle of operation, but everyone can see it as a translation tool. It's clear that he doesn't value Tam-ton's translation very much, so when he heard him speak, then Haeun thought, if Mr. Sacred Heart heard it, he would definitely faint. The Prime Minister tried to suppress his sigh, looked down at the ground and said thoughtfully, we have something to tell you. Can you help Italy, please? The Prime Minister's words made SeoJoon fall into deep thought, with a materialistic and simple mind like he still didn't understand the problem. What is he talking about? We are here to help Italy, Prime Minister. Seeing him looking blank and not saying anything, he added, I know this is a shameful request, but we will try our best to meet all your requests. If it's about money, you can have as much as you want. This sentence from the Prime Minister struck the male lead's materialistic mind, so as soon as he heard that, his eyes lit up. Soo-yeon felt nauseous when she saw that. Because of her fear of money. Seeing SeoJoon looking so upset, the Prime Minister thought that money had no effect on him, because at that level he might have so much money that he was bored, but he did not expect that the male lead was dumbfounded with joy. It's not because there's no reaction to money. The Prime Minister clenched his fists because he felt helpless. He thought of a way to convince the male protagonist, but Italy was in a period of chaos. The only thing I can give him is money. Thinking of that, the Prime Minister made up his mind. shouted loudly as if containing all the stubbornness and help of the whole of Italy to the dream group, adding, "We will not take any money for collecting monster corpses, moreover we will fully bear the costs needed for separating and processing monster corpses. We will also give you the best treatment, so please help us, please." SeoJoon sounded like a flag in his stomach. The atmosphere was overwhelming and the will to make money was beyond control. He was overwhelmed. Full of energy and motivation, breathing heavily. The male lead sounded shy. No, we will help, everyone." The Prime Minister heard that and exclaimed, "Really?" And the group members turned to look at him with dark eyes because they understood. It's clear he loves money regardless of the results. Mr. Samuel saw that he agreed and immediately decided to hand over the city of Lazio. He explained that it was a key political area where the capital Rome was located. A question suddenly popped up in SeoJoon's mind. Is it just Lazio? I thought they said we had to deal with everything that came out of the dungeon. The Prime Minister said it was a mistake to force the team to defend an area. It was too bad. Nonsense. SeoJoon was pondering something. He stood there stunned for a moment, but from above a familiar sound came down. It was a blue and white helicopter. SeoJoon saw it and immediately had a plan in mind. A helicopter. What would he do with it in the next mission? SeoJoon offered to borrow the helicopter. Samuel looked surprised because he didn't understand SeoJoon's idea, but because of his promise to support the dream group, he had to agree with them. I don't know what this dream group will do with the helicopter, but with SeoJoon's ambitious eyes and the dark looks of his teammates towards him, this trip will probably be more or less good. Campobasso City. City of Basilicata. Tirano City. No one would have thought that the dream team would use helicopters to destroy dungeons all over Italy. It's really difficult to think of, only a calculating mind like SeoJoon could have such an idea. The whole group wanted to collapse with the male lead's fiery spirit. He ordered the pilot to go to a new location quickly. From the city hall, the reports of the dungeons being destroyed became more and more frequent, faster and faster, causing the reporter to never have a rest. San Marino, Ravenna and other cities were completely destroyed. Destroy all. The Prime Minister stood silently in that bustling space, his heart beating wildly because the news kept coming and the news of victory grew more and more. He wondered when was the last time he felt this feeling. Even when he climbed to this position, he could never remember experiencing this feeling before. But he stopped because he suddenly remembered something. No, once. The scene changed to when the Prime Minister was young. Standing in front of him was a man in a gray overcoat and dozens of flying documents. The Prime Minister remembered, a long time ago, when Andrea, the hero of the Great War, the flood came and told him that he was going back to the underworld. That person named Andrea was leaning on a stack of papers, smiling brightly, with scars on his face. Those were the achievements of the purges of monsters he had participated in. The Prime Minister thought, I thought this would be the end of the world. It's the end of Italy without that hero. Returning to reality, the Prime Minister determined that he could not let the opportunity that SeoJoon's hunter group brought to pass. He ordered Association President Marcello to leave the safety of the people to the dream group to take care of and control. Mobilizing every professional hunter they had, only Marcello and Samuel seemed to know what to do. You mean it, Marcello said, looking sternly at the Prime Minister. We will deal with those damn gangsters. The Prime Minister clenched his fists in determination. This is truly a unique opportunity. The scene cuts to a desk full of dream group documents, a hand placed on a photo of SeoJoon. Albano, the man in the brown vest, called out to his subordinates, "What is your matter?" The subordinate had one eyelid. He exuded an unusual murderous aura. His boss said it was time to meet someone named Agnese and he agreed with his opinion. He still kept that murderous look in his eyes, asking his master how he wanted him to handle the hostages at Catasaro. His master stood up, walked away from the table and told him a question, seemingly in order. Moreover, what else can you do? Francesco, the mafia boss, put his hands in his pockets, clearly showing fiery murderous intent, ordering Albano to kill them all. As soon as you enter the hotel lobby, everyone's eyes are met by a large space, with gorgeously decorated tables and countless attractive dishes. Kim SeoJoon's teammates all eagerly opened their eyes. Elena stood next to Hunter Kim SeoJoon, raised her hand and smiled and said, "To avoid inconvenience, we have included the hotel." Kim SeoJoon turned to Elena and asked, "Sorry, Ms. Elena, can you tell me how much we are paid?" Elena smiled and replied, "Okay." She took out her phone and calculated, about 42 euros, converted to Korean currency, it was about 57 billion won. Hearing that, Kim SeoJoon was so excited that he couldn't control his emotions. His eyes widened, his nostrils flared, his face showed desire. In his heart he thought, 57 billion won. Kim SeoJoon raised his hands to caress himself, standing there trembling. Even if divided among 5 people, each person would still get 11.4 billion. Elena saw Kim Seo's strange and slightly perverted appearance. Jun suddenly waved his hand and spoke incoherently, "Hunter Kim Seo Jun, are you okay? Yes, is there a problem?" Lee Min-yul stood next to him, holding a piece of pizza in his hand and eating it. While eating, told Elena, "Just ignore it, every time money is mentioned, the captain acts like that." In his mind, he thought, it's normal, because he was so used to Kim Seo Jun's appearance. Kim Seo Jun was in excitement, drooling when thinking about the money, then he regained his composure, thinking in his mind, now is not the time to be like this. At this time, a notification from Instructor Atlas appeared on the system board, absorbing 10,000 types of poison, absorbing heat and cold, body indestructible, maximum physical training, by, one more. The system notification came from Instructor Thiaflee, fastest, most different, running at the speed of light. Kim Seo Jun did not hesitate to choose to buy the attributes offered by the system, so excited that he burst out laughing and exclaimed, 80 billion won. 80 billion won flew away in the blink of an eye. Kim Seo Jun regretfully consoled himself, his 80 billion won had already flown away, but compared to the money he could earn in the future, it was okay. Thinking of this, he quickly turned to Elena and asked, "Ms. Elena, how much is your annual budget?" Elena was startled and exclaimed, "Yes." She answered in a frantic tone, "About 1,100 trillion won." Hearing Elena's answer, Kim Seo Jun immediately changed his attitude, showing a sinister smile. In his mind he thought, trillion. Then he burst out laughing in a perverted way. Elena stood there looking confused, unable to say anything. Lee Min-yul and Sok Soo-yeon, who were destroying the food table, also looked at Kim Seo Jun. Lee Min-yul said, "Today he looks like the captain." "Very happy," Sok Soo-yeon replied, "Really, I feel the same as always." Moments later, Kim Seo Jun returned to his room to begin training. Atlas, a giant titan that can support the entire sky in Greek and Roman mythology, is inferior in strength to Hercules. At this time, the person fighting that sky supporter is talking to Kim Seo Jun. "What do you think is the most important thing when supporting the sky?" "Strong muscles, overwhelming strength." Atlas, the person supporting the sky, shouted loudly, looking a little helpless, "No, everything was wrong, it was perseverance. The most important thing when supporting the sky was perseverance." Kim Seo Jun sat on the cross-legged bed and listened to Atlas continue to teach. Of course, to support the sky, strength is also necessary, but without perseverance, that strength is useless. Atlas added, "Imagine you are supporting the sky and then suddenly someone pokes you in the stomach. Imagine a poisonous snake biting your leg. Imagine having to stand in the sky freezing cold, or having to endure the scorching heat. Are you going to use that as an excuse to collapse?" Kim Seo Jun replied helplessly, "If it was that bad then it wouldn't be considered an excuse. It's not a simple treatment anymore, right?" From the other side of the phone, Adil shouted so loudly into Kim Seo Jun's ear that it echoed throughout the room, "Nonsense." Atlas continued to say, "They are all just excuses. You must endure everything when opposing the sky in any state. You cannot be released for any reason. Kim Seo Jun is imprisoned." Atlas's scream made him want blood to pour out of his ears, causing him to fall onto the bed. "There are 3 basic things of perseverance that I will teach you in today's lesson." Upon hearing this, Kim Seo Jun stood up, his eyes shining with excitement. Atlas continued, "The body is not destroyed, the perseverance to be able to endure any physical injury, the ability to absorb 10,000 toxins, is the perseverance that helps you not give up any kind of strength." "What toxins?" "Absorb heat and cold. Perseverance allows you to withstand extreme heat and cold. This is perseverance, the ultimate strength." After speaking, Atlas burst out laughing. At this time the system board also notification appeared. Kim Seo Jun picked up his phone and looked at the notification board. "Your daily mission has appeared. By calculating casualties, the missions are in accordance with the cadet's current level. Carry 500 tons of weight at the racecourse for an hour. Drink Jormunganer's poison once. Endure 1000 degree heat for 10 minutes. Endure minus 100 degrees Celsius cold for 10 minutes. The mission will continue to change as the progress progresses." Course of the lecture. Kim Seo Jun looked at Jormunganer's poison drinking mission once, with an uneasy expression on his face, thinking, Jormunganer's deadly toxin, Jormunganer, a giant snake that appears in Norse mythology. It possesses a toxin that can kill God. Kim Seo Jun scratched his head in confusion, ignoring those things. Why was he supposed to drink Jormunganer's poison? How did he get that? Kim Seo Jun sat blankly looking at his phone for a while, then suddenly thought, "Don't tell me." The system panel appeared, "Counterfeit goods, Jormunganer's deadly toxin 2 billion won." Kim Seo Jun looked at the item worth 2 billion won blankly, thinking to himself, "Does that mean I have to spend 2 billion won? Really crazy." Kim SeoJoon closed his eyes, smiled wryly, and looked resigned. My mouth tried to hum to comfort myself, but it's okay, after I finish all of this, I will have trillions. Kim SeoJoon smiled, now it's time to learn this lesson. He started scrolling through the task board. He accidentally saw a video at the bottom of the task board. He was curious and was about to click on it to watch. Suddenly a loud noise shook the whole room. Kim SeoJoon suddenly turned his head back. He wondered if a dungeon had just been destroyed or something. At this time, a tall man with a gangster appearance, holding a sword, broke through the hotel wall and entered. Following him were two other men holding weapons. He boasted and smiled. Satisfied, he raised his hand behind his head and opened his mouth insolently. Heard there was a person here named Kim SeoJoon. A voice made him stop and pay attention, turning back. It was Elena. She slowly walked up to stand in front of him, her face serious, and said, "This is not the place for you people to come." He saw that it was a girl. He looked proud and said, "Hey girl, don't get hurt, go away." Before he could finish speaking, a whip was wrapped around his neck. Elena grabbed the whip and swung her hand, causing him to be pulled back with the whip. Elena raised her hand and held the whip tightly. "I warned her." One of them angrily exclaimed, "You bastard, what are you doing standing there? Kill him." The whole group began to rush to attack Elena. Elena raised her hand and swung the whip, creating a continuous attack to attack them all. They were sent flying in the blink of an eye, screaming in pain. A guy holding a shield stood there watching, sweating, and shyly said, "You idiots, don't go up all at once and attack." Before he could finish speaking, Elena's whip was wrapped around his thigh. Elena jumped up high, swung the whip and pulled him down hard to the ground. He screamed loudly. The group now continued to surround and attack Elena. "Damn it, don't let down your guard, catch her." Elena quickly and skillfully glided past and attacked each of them. Elena lost her strength, panted, and thought, "Well, if I could buy more time and call for help." Before she could think too much, the tall guy that Elena had initially sent flying rushed forward, strangled Elena, and kicked her hard to the ground. She was in pain, mouth spitting out a mouthful of blood. He strangled Elena, lifted her up. He looked at Elena with a smug smile and said, "I kept wondering who was going crazy. It turned out to be you, Elena." Elena was strangled, trying to say, "Albano, how did you get to Rome? Sicily is blocked." He looked up at her and replied, "This is none of your business. If you want to keep your life, then answer. Where is Kim SeoJoon?" he said. Then he squeezed Elena's neck again. Elena choked in pain, trying to answer him. "You think I will say?" At this time, from the stairs, Lee Min-yul and his guild teammate Kim SeoJoon stood there. They were still eating and drinking. Lee Min-yul spoke while eating. "What's going on?" Big sister Elena suddenly ran. He turned to look at them. Albano looked straight at Lee Min-yul and asked, "That Asian man over there, you are Kim SeoJoon?" Lee Min-yul and everyone suddenly stared at him. Lee Min-yul said, "Me? No, I'm not the captain. I came here to find the captain," he said while holding a plate of noodles in his hand and sucking it into his mouth continuously. Lee Min-yul suddenly said, "If you're looking for the captain is standing right behind you." Kim SeoJoon didn't know when he was standing right behind Albano. Kim SeoJoon asked, "Who are you?" Having said that, Kim SeoJoon suddenly attacked Albano to save Elena. Albano blocked Kim SeoJoon's sudden attack. "What?" He was surprised, afraid to turn pale, and thought to himself, Since when did he?" At this moment Kim SeoJoon turned his head to look at Albano with angry eyes. Lee Min-yul stood on the stairs and exclaimed, "Wow, Captain, he seems to be faster now," speaking but still not forgetting to take a large fork of noodles into his mouth. "This girl is the leader of the moderate faction, Agnese, cryptic Agnese, Armistice." The man carrying an unconscious man in his arms affirmed, "Yes, how about we join them temporarily, Agnese?" Agnese wondered, "What exactly are you planning?" That man held a cigarette in his mouth and raised his hand. "Hey, I'm still dealing with that traitor who secretly colluded with Antonio. Can you be gentle with me?" That man gradually approached Agnese. "Albano just came to meet Kim SeoJoon a while ago." Agnes wondered, "Kim SeoJoon, you mean the Korean hunter?" That man affirmed, "Yes, that idiot doesn't know his place." Agnese sipped the glass of wine in her hand. "If Albano had already gone there, he wouldn't have survived, right?" This person argued, "Kim SeoJoon, who was rumored to be a hero, suddenly died, then Antonio and Marcello, as well as the Italian government, would panic and be in chaos. What if the news that 90,000 people of Catanzaro were massacred was released?" Agnese was angry and couldn't believe it. "Are you serious? You're crazy, that's illegal," the man replied, throwing the other guy to the ground. "I'm always crazy. Nefarious, huh? As long as I can win, none of that matters." I will do everything I can to win. We're all monsters, rules and ethics don't apply to us, just follow your instincts, the man said as he stomped on the guy on the ground. And instinct? He turned around, we are all evil monsters. He clenched his fists, if you want to fight then fight, if you want to kill then kill, because that is a new era for Italy. Let's fight. When he finished speaking, his face became more brutal than ever. On this side, this guy suddenly turned pale and hesitated. Since when did he look at SeoJoon and get scared? He quickly ran away. I really let down my guard, but I didn't feel his movements at all. The girl sitting on the ground thanked SeoJoon for helping. SeoJoon frowned and looked over there in discomfort. Who are they? The girl replied. It was Albano, the operator of the violent faction, and his subordinates. Sicily had been blocked by the association president and Sir Antonio already. How could they? This guy looked at the girl and smiled arrogantly, really surprised. You probably don't know everything yet, right? SeoJoon got up and asked him. So you're looking for me? He affirmed. But what else? I heard there's an Asian bastard I've never heard of who is interested in our plan. I was curious so I came here, let's see who it is. SeoJoon replied nonchalantly. Okay, now you see me. He put his arm around the girl's waist to help her leave. SeoJoon is arrogant. Take your juniors and go away. But this guy hasn't shed a tear yet when he sees the coffin. He smirks. You're so nice. After finishing speaking, he rushed to attack SeoJoon, turning his back to this super speed Albano. Die. Before he could do anything, he was sent flying by SeoJoon. SeoJoon turned his head to look at them. Really, all criminals are the same. I gave them a chance. Albano crashed into the wall and spit out blood. But he still didn't know what to be afraid of, so he shouted at his juniors. What are you doing? Kill them all. The junior heard that and followed suit. Yes. They rushed towards SeoJoon. Suddenly, a vine released from the wall. They were caught just like that. A girl came out and said, I haven't finished eating yet. Those people go out to have fun, mafia or something. Beat them all and come back to eat. Can we kill them? Just make them unconscious. Just like that, those guys were beaten to death. Albano was scared. What's wrong with those bastards? I heard they were only S rank and A rank. At this moment, a pressure came that made him pay attention. That's SeoJoon. Albano sneaked. He is A level. No way, he ordered. Kill that bastard first. Protect me. Kill him. No one cared, so he reached into his shirt to get something. He slammed the thing on the ground so hard it exploded. Then he took that opportunity to run away like he was flying. A person behind saw his speed and exclaimed, wow, that guy is fast. This girl shouted loudly, don't let him escape. SeoJoon heard that and let out a TSK sound. Let me go catch him. The girl was surprised after hearing that. Huh. SeoJoon quickly took off like flying, making everyone want to fly away. Albano thought as he walked, we underestimated the power of those bastards. The Mafia Alliance is not the problem here. I had to quickly escape and report to my boss. Before I could even celebrate, SeoJoon appeared right next to him and asked, where are we going? Just like that, a loud noise rang out. Albano slowly opened his eyes. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw that he was tied up and surrounded by many people. SeoJoon interrogated, you finally woke up, huh? The girl stepped forward and asked, Albano, how could you escape from Sicily? Sicily must have been blocked by Marcello and Antonio. He didn't answer and asked in return, why do you care about that? The girl got to the point, stop doing nonsense, talk. Suddenly he burst out laughing, Kek. Do you really think this is over? His words made the girl confused, what are you talking about? He smirked, Catanzaro. As soon as she heard this name, the girl was startled. Realize, don't tell me, Albano shouted, it's too late. The girl was so angry that he punched him in the face, this bastard. Punching and cursing, you bastard, are you still human? How could you do that? SeoJoon, confused, approached the girl and asked what he was saying. The girl darkly replied, these guys are threatening to take Catanzaro's 90,000 hostages and force the president to resign. Albano said while spitting blood, at first, we only intended to give you until the end of the week, but the trick of those bastards in the parliament, the order was given before I got here, bomb the magic should have been activated by now. Soon, 90,000 people will, boom, he said, looking up with a shriveled face that no longer had teeth to eat porridge. Angry girl, bastard, can you still consider yourself human? What's the difference between you and those monsters? Albano wondered, how could it be our fault? We were planning to negotiate, okay, you guys are the ones ignoring us. Yes, you shouldn't get involved with outsiders, because you idiots are 90,000 people. Before he could finish speaking, SeoJoon punched him, knocking him unconscious. SeoJoon said, I haven't killed him yet, it seems like you still need to ask him something. Get ready everyone. We will go to Catanzaro immediately. Near Catanzaro, a helicopter flies in the sky. SeoJoon inside asked Suyin, can you do it? Suyin replied, let's see. At this time, SeoJoon looked over at a young man and told him, Minhyul, you go with Suyin to determine the bomb's location. You have the ability to hide so you won't be discovered. Once you know the location, please report it. Immediately for me. Minhyul heard that and immediately complied, Captain don't worry. SeoJoon continued to instruct the others, SeoJoon, to go find the hostages and evacuate them to a safe place, and Lee Hae-eun, to help her. After listening, everyone complied, understood, okay. As soon as he opened the helicopter door, there was a voice calling SeoJoon back, Hunter Kim SeoJoon. Doing this is too dangerous, we don't have much time left, and if the mafia senses that something is up with the group, the dream team members will too. But SeoJoon didn't care and told the girl, don't worry. Because I won't let that happen, SeoJoon said with a certain look on his face. After finishing speaking, he immediately jumped down. The girl called out, Hunter Kim SeoJoon. SeoJoon rushed away like flying. The system shows next to it, Fiddlefi's lecture progress, daily tasks using God's speed for 5 minutes. SeoJoon's whole body sent a feeling of pain, it felt like my body was being torn into pieces, luckily Atlas's body helped me endure it. But there's no time to relax. I don't know when the magic bomb will explode, but it hasn't been activated yet, so maybe the mafia hasn't left Catanzaro yet, or we've already left but the bomb hasn't activated yet. But if those bastards haven't left yet, then until his team reaches the Catanzaro. Until Minhyul found the bomb and Suyin defused it. Until SeoJoon and Lee Hae-eun evacuated everyone to safety. SeoJoon gritted his teeth, I had to buy time. Please make it in time. On this side, someone is holding something like a battery in his hand. He is the head of the Francesco Cesar gang. Outside, someone rushed past. He asked the junior's name, what about the people in Catanzaro? The junior informed, I warned them not to leave the house, they probably didn't know what was going on until the bomb went off. Where's the explosion? That speed passed by again. He ordered a few people to run away, so that the survivors would know what happened there. The juniors wondered, so, how many people should we send? This guy thinks, about 10 people. That speed came quickly again. That guy was standing in the yard ordering everyone, okay, we're going back to Sicily, everyone's going right, if you accidentally fall asleep and get blown up, don't blame me, the guy said loudly, there are no such idiots in the world. Bastards like that deserve to be killed. Then quickly, before he could finish speaking, something passed by. SeoJoon landed safely and breathed a sigh of relief. Phew, luckily it wasn't too late. They looked at SeoJoon confused, Asian, arrogant SeoJoon, you're the mafia guy who took over Catanzaro, right? The other guy asked, who are you? SeoJoon didn't bother to answer, sorry but you guys have to come with me for a while. This guy pointed at SeoJoon and then turned to ask his juniors, what, this bastard, is he one of the 10 guys I told you to release just now? They shook their heads, no, not among them. Is anyone Asian? They laughed, ha ha ha, so what idiot dares to act smart in front of the mafia with 1,000 people? He scratched his head, I don't know who you are or why you're here. But if you want to die then fine. Those people looked at SeoJoon with eyes like they were looking at prey. He arrogantly ordered, kill it. As soon as he finished speaking, those people immediately rushed toward SeoJoon. SeoJoon's face was cold and cruel, if I knew that, I would have studied Zhang Fei's lecture. That guy turned around and ordered his subordinates, I'll go first, after killing him, follow me. Behind him, there was a sound of beating and a terrible scream. He turned his head and saw a group of people rolling on the ground. Those guys were fearless and rushed to attack SeoJoon, this bastard. But SeoJoon didn't care much inside. Returned to kill the chugs in a flash. This guy is scared, what the hell, in front of SeoJoon still beat them up. He was annoyed, damn, where did that bastard come from? I have to quickly leave this place, press the activation button and return to Sicily, I can't press this button here. He clutched the remote in his pocket. SeoJoon saw him acting unusually and stopped. Glanced over. SeoJoon's eyes scared him. SeoJoon slowly approached. He stepped back. SeoJoon approached at a faster pace. He spoke up, wait. SeoJoon rushed forward like flying. He couldn't take it anymore, what the hell? SeoJoon immediately attacked all those brats. This guy took the opportunity to run away, why was this bastard chasing him?